Bum, 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 bum. All right. Hello and, well, good morning, probably, as most of you are likely asleep. Midnight. I don't think I've ever started, well, I guess it's the morning now, technically, for me. 12 a.m. on the dot, but hello and welcome to this morning's fantastic dinosaur action, watching me drop the most Stampede Dinosaurs, possibly the most dinosaurs that anybody does drop, as it is with Stampede Dinos here. Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, the namesake, putting all creatures onto the battlefield. Lovely stuff. Dinosaurs, for anybody that is new or perhaps a night owl, browsing YouTube and whatnot, this is all I do. There's a link to the primer for this specific idea of a dinosaur deck. There are many ways that can be fantastic, but the link to the live primer, the list as well, the Discord too, if you happen to enjoy Discord. But I'm going to be dropping a whole lot more, likely with Soul of the Harvest. I was thinking about, possible, drinking more Pepsi, thinking about possible changes, as I usually always do. And I just wanted more trample. I don't want anything that takes out an artifact, really something also powerful. More card advantage, a creature attached to that would also be good. A creature that costs 6, not 5. There is good creatures that cost 5, of course. But the fact that Soul of the Harvest costs 6, it lines up nicely with the Sunken, possibly 2 Force, and Castle Garenbrig. Those 4 lands on turn 4 making 6 for Soul of the Harvest. That is pretty darn fantastic. The next turn we play Vaultborn, boom, draw a card from itself, plus the Soul of the Harvest trigger. Tyrranax Rex, Ghalta, anytime after that. It's just a touch more. And a creature that's massive. It feels quite good. It's not like it's something where I'm hoping the opponent has some sort of strategy. This just focuses on getting more stuff, more gas in the tank, and sometimes that is what I need, even though it might seem like I have an overabundance, maybe too much of high-cost creatures. Oftentimes that's just not the case. Now with Soul of the Harvest, it's much more certain that I'm going to always have the big creatures, always having the best possible drop with Ghalta Stampede Tyrant there. Oh, lovely stuff. I just had a thought in my head. I was about to mention it. It's gone. Oh, the average mana value. I wanted to check that out. Average mana value of exactly 5. Pretty crazy stuff. Yeah.
This is a load of barnacles.
That might be what some people say when they see it, but no, it's not the case. It's all about getting to a large amount of mana ahead of schedule, and when you reach that, which is always the plan, do you want to be playing something small, or do you want to basically always be playing something big? One of these things. You could have, other smaller creatures, but I don't like it. I want to pack the biggest and the best punch as often as possible, and this just feels like basically the best way. Of course, Soul of the Harvest could be any number of things. Could be a smaller creature in place of this, but I didn't even have a single copy, and some of you may have forgotten that it was even available on Arena. So it's not Soul of the Harvest, Soul of the Dino, probably the Soul Eater, because we're going to be taking the opponents when they see all that lethal damage. Torpor Orb, as I mentioned, back in the sideboard. Pretty straightforward there. What we bring it in against: Selesnya, Hate Bears, anything with enter the battlefield effects, and back to nature still, because those enchantment decks are around. Tranquil Frillback too, just to help against that cat food combo. Exile their graveyard, take out Bandit's Talent, and hopefully that's going to help us out quite a bit. And Hornet Queen for mono black demons, maybe some aggro. Sometimes it has helped. If we get Hornet Queen down early enough, a swarm of flying death touchers, but some of the aggro decks focused on very few creatures, those ones have trample, and as I've said before, most of the damage continues on through, and it might be enough to kill us anyway, so it doesn't really matter if we're going to kill that creature. They only have to live for that one combat, sadly. But yeah, I say we jump right into it again. It is, well, it's pretty early. Yeah. Pretty early, pretty late. See how fast it is to find an opponent, because I bet it is going to be quite some time. I'd be surprised if it was instantaneous. Servers are kind of sleeping, I guess. They're taking a while to get into it. Maybe my internet is sleeping a little bit. It's odd. Maybe they're refreshing the system or something. Okay, well, there you go. Some sort of control deck, I would imagine. That is a basically perfect hand. Oh, okay. Well, we got Izzet Phoenix to begin with. Hopefully they don't drop the sadly super painful. Oh, Sunken. That is the best. Basically the best. We go Sunken Citadel on turn 2. Of course, we still have Sylvan Scrying. But on turn 3, we play Castle Garenbrig, and we have the Sunken. We have the 3 green for Archdruid. So we're on track to make 7 on turn 4. That's really where you want to be at. Hopefully the opponent doesn't play anything too. Okay, well, that's pretty fantastic. We have to wait and hope that they use up some of their mana. Profs is painful. Will I want to be exiling it with Archdruid's Charm? I do have a second one, which is nice. I have to imagine they have a Spell Pierce. I don't think this is going off. I hope. Oh, it does. Well. This is getting quite interesting indeed. Certainly going to try to drop Vaultborn Tyrant. Technically, I should use Sylvan Scrying to search for a land and then Commune with Dinosaurs to search for Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, but I'm going to try for Vaultborn. See what happens. Maybe they bounce it. Of course, they do have to use 2 pieces of removal just to take it out. Then I do get another copy. That would be the worst trade in the world. They might bounce it, though. That's fine by me. Yeah, that's all right. They got 1 Phoenix in the graveyard. Oof. You saw they moused over it a little bit, and now they're feeling pretty darn bad. Might as well get rid of Sylvan Scrying. Commune with Dinosaurs likely is going to get the land that we need, but we should be fairly safe at 24 there. And hope they don't play a Ledger Shredder. I don't believe Prof's Addictic Memory can put the counters on the Phoenix. Both of that stuff, it happens at the same time, and by the time the Phoenixes enter the battlefield, the trigger for Profs to put counters onto creatures has passed. If you want to attack, fine by me. Oh, Commune with Dinosaurs, we get a land or Ghalta, possibly. There's the land, lovely stuff. Carnage Tyrant, might as well. See if we can get Ghalta with this. Ugh, still no Ghalta. Might as well be Castle Garenbrig. That's unfortunate. Have to be at least a little bit scared. But again, they're not going to have lethal, I don't imagine. Hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. The Arclight Phoenix is, 3 right now. I mean, it's going to get really big. Ooh, and Artist Talent. It's certainly getting out of control. But they can't attack with the Arclight Phoenix. You have to keep that in mind. If they left themselves open, it would be absolutely lethal. As long as both of those creatures stick around, I don't have to really worry. So they will have that 1 Phoenix left, which they might hold back. I could see that happening. Interesting. Let me think about this. I can go with Regisaur, but I'm only left with a Sunken. I could go with 2 Archdruid's Charms, which would certainly be pretty darn interesting. I'm going to try for that. It should be it. Archdruid's Charm will target Carnage Tyrant just in case they have some sort of removal or whatchamacallit. If I targeted Vaultborn Tyrant, they might be able to do something to the Vaultborn there. They might have a Spell Pierce, but I think we should be okay because we have that second Archdruids. But that's just it. Math is hard. That Phoenix had exactly 8 toughness. I was thinking about using the Vaultborn as the target. It would have gone to 7 power, which wouldn't have been enough to take it out. But we got it done. Lovely stuff. Keep it the same. We'll go with Tranquil Frillback instead of Soul of the Harvest there. Even though I'm not super worried about Phoenix, I am a little bit more worried because of the addition of Artist Talent. It's rough stuff. That's about as good as you could hope for, though. Oh, speaking of as good as you can hope for, we're looking at 7 mana right now. With Archdruids, we would have all we need. I imagine Archdruid's Charm. I'm going to use it to, well, not search for a land. Search for Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, which is on the top. The opponent now has to be absolutely on point. Question is, do I want to take out Artist Talent? Technically, I do. I don't want him to be discarding a whole lot of stuff, but I could just go Archdruid's Charm, find a Sunken, kill him next turn. At this point, I would imagine that's probably better. They could have removal for Palani's Hatcher, keep in mind, but there's a chance that they just die. If they spend all their mana, definitely dead. If they have 2 left, they could bounce maybe Ghalta or Palani's Hatcher. Maybe play a Ledger Shredder for 2. Huh. Spend that last mana. Do it. I'm just happy they don't have a source of red. Okay. Now they're dead. Super dead. I believe they should be dead, even if I don't draw another dinosaur coming up here. But 8 mana turn 4 is pretty darn good. Another extra super.
Ruthless aggression.
Surprise. Send that dinosaur egg in for sending a message, yeah. Phew. I'm just glad I got revenge against Izzet Phoenix. Now, is that a fluke or an outlier? Potentially. Stumbling a little bit there, perhaps. But the Artist Talent, ooh, 100%. Elevated Izzet Phoenix quite a bit. Just additional fantastic ways to discard cards like that deck is looking to do. Man, that's going to be sticking around for that particular list. In that particular list for quite some time. The Crusader. Maybe it is finally going to be Azorius Control. We wouldn't be doing much if we kept that hand, though. Basically it. Should I send a land or a Vaultborn to the bottom? I'm going to be slightly more greedy. Send a land to the bottom. Keep both those Vaultborns. With Yorion, maybe it's going to be that 5-color stuff. I think. Excuse me. But you never know. With that Archdruid's Charm, we're in a much better position. Got 3 lands. I'm going to be getting to Archdruids at... I think it's 5-color or 4-color Landfall. It could be a little bit rough. They don't do too much to us, so... No, yep, Splunking. Splunking is a little bit problematic. All the opponent's lands now enter untapped, which is going to be... Yeah. yikes. They're going to combo this with a bunch of different stuff that brings things from the graveyard onto the battlefield, lands specifically, and oftentimes those lands enter tapped, but now with Splunking they enter untapped, maybe sacrificing when they enter, but they would have a brief moment to, make use of those lands for various abilities and whatnot. But now they have 5. Oh boy. Grab another green for, yep, possibly Splunking. I bet it's Splunking. Or World Souls Rage, that's good too. I mean, I don't really mind too much. I have to hope they don't have another World Souls Rage. But they paid 3 for X. So they put up to 3 cards from their hand and or graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. And then those lands that entered were the ones that sacrifice and you search for a land, put it onto the battlefield. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, well, I mean, we're not dead yet. Not quite. Technically, the opponent is. If, by chance, they don't kill us next turn, we would kill them. Now, they could have some lane destruction, possibly. We're looking at lethal, if all goes well. Stumble a little bit. Ooh, ill-timed explosion. Interesting. That's okay. Hopefully. As long as that final card in their hand isn't World Souls Rage, which, I mean, is a very real possibility. But I don't believe that would be lethal anyways. We're still at 17. That's lethal. That's lethal. Oh. Oh.
Good Lord, what is happening in there?
I love it. I feel like throwing a good game there. All they're doing is searching for lands. That does nothing to hurt us. The only thing they can do now is play Yorion. Bounce Splunking or something like that. Boom. I tap 5, I kill ya. That's what it's all about. Man, love it. Love it. Oh. Hopefully I do it again, but I've been defeated a couple times with Splunking. Torpor Orb, creatures entering don't cause abilities to trigger. Would be nice if lands entering also didn't cause abilities to trigger them, so we're not doing that. Tranquil Frillback actually could be pretty devastating, exiling their graveyard. Bloppa, good night, yes. Yes, it is. Or good morning, because it is technically morning. That was Ruthless Aggression. Cut, how's it going? Hopefully all is well with you, and all is well with everybody. Don't forget, even though it is late or early, take a big bite out of that like button, just like I took a big bite out of the opponent there. But yeah, going back to the graveyard thing, they got ways to get the lands out of the graveyard, so if I hit it at the right point, there's nothing to come back. Everything is good for me. Everything is good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Soul of the Harvest, I don't think we really need that. Definitely Tranquil Frillback. We would hit the graveyard, plus we would hit the Splunking, which doesn't seem to be doing... Pardon me. Doesn't seem to be doing too much for the opponent, but it still does something. Okay. That's where it's at. I don't think we need Back to Nature. The only thing Back to Nature would really get is that Splunking, so Tranquil Frillback covering basically all the bases here. Lovely. Lovely. That hand, not lovely at all. Oh boy, I don't like it. Should be better. Good enough. We might need Regisaur Alpha just in case. We might reach a critical point where I do the Ghalta thing. I need to attack with everybody that turn. because the opponent might do a World Souls Rage, they might kill me the following turn. I could see that happening. Oh, it's a mill sort of situation with the Rune Crab there. I don't like that. Yep. Okay. An alternate win condition of sorts. Unfortunately, they did mill a Tranquil Frillback there, so they know what is potentially going to happen. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like the Rune Crab. Not one bit. Hopefully they don't have some sort of counterspell. I'd be highly surprised if they did. It's all about the permanents, lands, and stuff that sacrifice themselves. Yeah, oh boy. Lots of fun. You never know what you're going to get. We could simply be milled out before we get a chance to take out the opponent, really. And they attacked with the Rune Crab for extra flair. Okay. I like fried crab, boiled crab. Whatever you do with crab, it's good. Crab legs with butter. Garlic butter. How many cards do I have left? My goodness. I'm past halfway. Not fun. Not fun. I mean, technically we haven't lost yet. Of course, I was hoping for another land or Sylvan Scrying. We've lost just about anything and everything. A couple copies of everything. Hopefully they don't have World Souls Rage. Cross your fingers. We could be almost dead. They made a red with that, so I think it's a possibility. Ooh, Omnath is not fun. Okay. See what we draw next turn. It could be a Sunken, which might unlock the possibility of Ghalta. But that is not the case. That's going to be too slow. Way too slow. Yeah, could have drawn a Sunken, played it, drawn another land that enters untapped the turn after that, made 8, played Ghalta. That would have been pretty great. But do I like Tranquil Frillback? Yeah, maybe not. I mean, you saw right there, it really didn't do a whole lot of anything. I need at least 4 mana, 1 extra, to at least do something from Tranquil Frillback's list of abilities there. Otherwise, 3 for a 3/3 that does nothing. That's not good. That's pretty terrible in this day and age, especially when you have Pugnacious Hammerskull, which costs the exact same, but it's a 6/6. It's 2 Tranquil Frillbacks that do nothing in 1. Alright, that hand is lovely. Oh, 100%. I would imagine Commune with Dinosaurs probably is going to see a Sunken. I just have to hope the opponent doesn't get the painful early Rune Crab. Ruin our chances. Do I like Commercial District? Do I like Palani's Hatcher? You know what, I like Palani's Hatcher instead. It might have been a little bit safer keeping the land and that land possibly being Commercial District. I don't have a play for 2, so the Commercial District always entering tapped, seeing what's on top. Could be lovely. If the thing on top is not what I needed, I would have gotten a little bit closer to something that was better. Okay, that could be rough. You never know. They don't have the Rune Crab, so the milling potential has gone away, fortunately. Omnath that's not fun, but they don't have Splunking as well. Oh, back-to-back Ghalta. I could draw a Sylvan Scrying, or an Archdruid's, or a Sunken itself, or a Commune to dig for the Sunken to play it. If I get a Sunken out next turn, somehow, some way, I would eventually look at 7, but then I could draw a land after that, play Ghalta, which plays Ghalta, chain a whole bunch of draw and life gain, maybe. Or we just die, because this particular deck does make an explosive amount. Okay, yeah, that's not too bad. That's pretty bad. We do need to land somebody next turn. It's probably only going to be Carnage Tyrant, which wouldn't exactly save us. Aftermath Analyst is going to lock things up. I believe they can activate it. Yeah, they're going to activate it this turn. Oh boy. We're not coming back from that. Aftermath Analyst, its ability to pay 3 and a green, 4 to sacrifice itself, bring back all the lands. Yeah, no need to tap. They had the green, and they were about to make a whole lot. With Nissa, they would have made 4. Those lands sacrificed, getting 4 more lands, which triggered Nissa's ability, which makes 8, and then the lands themselves, some of them entering untapped. The ones with Fabled Passage would have been a total of 10. Memory Deluge, nah. We'll keep on moving. We'll get 'em next time, I hope. Elesh Norn is lovely with that. Turning off all the enter the battlefield effects. It's pretty hilarious. The deck almost completely crumbles. I think they'd mostly quit if we landed Elesh Norn, but she does cost a total of 5. That could be a little bit slow, and perhaps this could be also a dinosaur opponent with the Gishath avatar there. I think it's a very real possibility. Yeah. That's going to be better. That hand's going to be better. Oh, okay. It went from terrible to the best. I would say the best. What do I want to send to the bottom? I kind of like Stomping Ground. Soul of the Harvest, maybe. You know what? Stomping Ground. It's going to be Sunken. Sylvan to search for a land. That's a forest typed. There we go. I like it. Would it have been better to send Sylvan to the bottom instead? Possibly. Or we could just possibly be dead because, well, now it is mono white humans. Pretty aggressive deck, and fortunately we did go first. Sylvan Scrying costing 3 is about that's fine because I'm still playing it. Perfectly drawing the forest exactly when we needed it. Phew. Drop Soul of the Harvest next turn. Hopefully it's enough. I have to hope it doesn't get exiled by you know who. The whatchamacallit, Brutal Cathar. We could still possibly get a sneaky win depending what they do. But at the very least I have somebody big. If by chance Soul of the Harvest is able to stick around, it's good. They might go Brave the Elements. Something like that. Or just kill it. And get lost is something. So they got 7, 8, 9. Don't think we're dead. Ooh, down to 1. Oh boy. Are they dead? I think they might be because I got Palani's and Regisaur. Oh, this is what it's all about. I think, I hope. Maybe not. I don't know. I won't say good game because I'm not actually sure if it is. I haven't done the math. I don't believe it is. Adeline blocks Palani's Hatcher. Dauntless Bodyguard. Yeah. Two. Oh, boo. Close but no cigar. Yeah, it's all right. If Regisaur Alpha, no, it had to be Palani's and Regisaur. Yeah, if Soul of the Harvest stuck around, absolutely would have been smoked. Now, do I like Hornet Queen? I kind of like Hornet Queen. Nah, we'll do that. Instead of T-Rex. They both cost 7. If we land the Hornet Queen, a swarm of death touch creatures can be pretty fantastic against mono white humans. But like I mentioned, they do have Brave the Elements, an instant speed spell for 1. And they just name green, and their white creatures gain protection from green. Which I can't block them then, because basically everything is green, and that's mean. That first hand maybe could have been good. It didn't have a sunken or a castle. A little bit rough. Try for something a bit better, which this is definitely not. Oh, it's getting worse. Okay, there it is. We got to keep something at some point. Maybe the opponent will stumble a little bit there. And we might go to game 3. Possibly. Keep Carnage Tyrant just because that's the point I'm going to reach. That's the best thing to keep the cheapest. Of course, Palani's Hatcher technically is cheaper, but I reach Carnage Tyrant and Palani's Hatcher levels at the same time, so it might as well be this thing that, well, at least I still have 1 left. Hopefully they don't have another invasion of Gobakon. That's not fun. Hornet Queen, we're getting there. I could draw a forest, a Cavern of Souls. Or they drop Authority of the Consoles. Really? What mono white humans player uses Authority of the Consoles? This is not fun. It's getting a bit out of control. Yeah, no, that's not going to do it. Next turn. Okay. Sylvan Scrying, 6, 9. No, not happening. Everybody enters tapped. It would be a couple turns before Hornet Queen and the Swarm would be able to block. I would have searched for another Sunken that turn, played it, been able to make 7 the turn after that, but the Hornet Queen all tapped anyway, so it's a turn after that. By that point, I'm dead, just to the aggression from that mono white opponent there. A lot of different stuff tonight. It's got to be an Azorius. Let's see an Azorius. Let's do it. I'm due for one. It's been, I don't know how long. It might have been actually an entire week, which is pretty crazy to say. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's the best deck," and I did face it, a decent amount of times, but it really seems to have dropped off. That's good. Again, basically perfect with this. The Sunken and the Stomping Ground, Sylvan for Castle, Archdruids for the second Sunken, and maybe their chances have sunken. Dimir Rogues, Dimir Ninjas, rough. I hope that Sylvan Scrying goes off. I always hope that it does, but they could have some sort of counterspell. Yeah. Dimir Ninjutsu Ninjas. They're going to have whatchamacallit, Azera San. Whenever he deals damage, they can cast a creature from my graveyard. Something like that. Don't remember exactly, but it could be painful for the opponent as long as I can land the Vaultborn Tyrant. Gain a bunch of life, get to Ghalta Stampede Tyrant at some point. I'm not super worried with what the opponent's doing. Of course, this opponent is in gold. Maybe it's not the most optimized ninja list. Hard to say. I don't imagine they would have a counter spell for one. I hope they spend that mana, of course. Will definitely respond to if they use it and completely tap out. Getting the second Sunken. Getting to Vaultborn Tyrant mana, and again, if they have a counter spell for turn 4. We are protected from it with the Cavern of Souls. Vaultborn Tyrant should be landing it if they use removal. That's Also quite fine, because we'd likely get that token, the copy, gain a bunch of life, draw a bunch, hopefully stabilize a little bit. Already being down to 12, it's a little scary, for sure. Well. If we got Ghalta Stampede Tyrant next turn, the opponent would mostly be dead. They'd be pretty dead. Is this going to be enough to save us? That's the question. 6. Zarasan coming up. Huh. 5 is pretty rough. Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. Oh my goodness. Three Vaultborn Tyrants. 9 triggers? I think it's not. Yeah, they all see each other and they see themselves. You get the drill. Now the opponent can maybe get dead. Oh. See, it's so simple. To win, you just draw the thing that wins on the spot. Very easy. Very, very straightforward right there. Yeah, just the car driving past. I gotta tweak the security camera hot zones or whatever. Headlights, depending on the weather, as a car drives past the street, triggers it. Animals too. A lot of raccoons. But this opponent, do I like the Hornet Queen? Perhaps. Would it save us a decent amount? Maybe. A lot of little creatures, some with flying. I could see that happening. Yeah, I say we do that. Solo the Harvest out, Hornet Queen in, and hopefully we get fortunate like we did there. Oh boy, it's been a while since that's happened. Of course, I always wish that would happen. It's just not the case. Yeah, I'll be back in a sec. Don't go anywhere. Okay. What I miss, what I miss. Back at it, back at it. Mulligan. Yeah. Ooh, oh, perfect. Pretty much perfect. Now I can keep a guaranteed 6 mana with those 4 lands, but there's an almost certainty that I'm going to get to 1 more land, still make 6. That 1 land could be sunken and I can make 7. Or I could draw a Sylvan to get another sunken to make 7, an Archdruids, that sort of thing. I could very easily get flooded if I had kept that forest. I'd keep the forest if I didn't have a commune, which is going to dig for something good. Some other land. We'll see. Maybe the opponent went AFK. They don't know how lucky I just got. That's what it's all about. Okay. Is that going to be it? It seems like I almost get one of these every night or so. The opponent gets so close and... Ooh, okay. I'll take it. Huh. All you have to do is just do something so incredibly crazy in game 1 and... Phew. Phew. Alright. Yeah, who knows what it's going to be. Probably at least one more match here. It is. It's been about 42 minutes. Most of them have been fast, and still, it would be nice to go at least an hour. Even though it is 12:42. Hardcore. Azorius. Ooh. I don't think I've faced this particular opponent before. Maybe it is going to be a dinosaur opponent. This could be rough. 2 Gishath avatars in one night makes me a little bit worried, but with the Orion, that's definitely not it. We start with Sunken. We see if we draw a castle or another Sunken. So now things have gotten really interesting. I grab a Vaultborn. I'm going to be grabbing Castle Garenbrig anyways, with the Stomping, making the 3 green for Archdruids. What is the opponent on? That's really hard to say, but... well, we'll see what they do. They're completely tapped out, even though I do sense that they're going to use most of their mana coming up here. We're making Vaultborn mana next turn. We're making Ghalta mana. Would I do it in one night? Okay, so it's 5 color... Yorion, Fires of Invention, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be deadly. Hopefully they don't have Leyline Binding. I bet they do. Oh, you're making 1 white, aren't you? Oh, you're looking at Ancient Cornucopia. I think they're thinking about it. Maybe. Excuse me. We could Ghalta at any point. I imagine the opponent could be pretty darn dead. Ancient Cornucopia, though, they do gain quite a bit of life from the big score alternate. Oh, they exiled it. That's no fun. The alternate sheet, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. If they cast a card that's 5 colors, they could gain 5 life. That would be multiplied by 2 because they have 2 Ancient Cornucopias. Sylvan Scrying might as well use it. Didn't have anything else to use that mana for. Grab a backup Castle Garenbrig just in case they have a touch of land destruction. There's the Leyline Binding like we expected, unfortunately. Hello, hello. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hopefully you are too, and a little bit rough at the moment with this particular opponent. 4 mana they can do a lot with. Hopefully they don't have another Leyline Binding. I would like Soul of the Harvest. We would get to connect with Tyrranax Rex. Because they only have 4, even if they cast Leyline Binding for 1, they aren't able to stop it. But I like Soul of the Harvest. To set up for future turns, more draw potentially. Where there's one Leyline Binding, there's... Notion Thief. Oh, so they draw. If I would draw, that's not fun. That's not fun at all. And another Vanishing Verse to exile Soul Harvest, huh? Well, again, anytime we get Ghalta, we kill them. I mean, they are at 41, which is not fun. Still no Ghalta. Huh. Technically, Commercial District is a little bit better in this case. I mean, I kind of like Tyrranax Rex on top, but I want to get Ghalta. We need Ghalta as soon as possible, so we're playing this. I don't believe they can kill me next turn. We'll see. But Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, the first copy should be coming up, you would imagine. 4 cards on the bottom that I've seen, so there's 36 cards in the library that I don't know what they are, or where they are. That's close to Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. The first copy is... well, there's a decent chance that it's coming up. The first of 4. Now they can't use removal on T-Rex. They don't have enough to pay the ward cost, which perhaps they were thinking of doing. Both Niv Mizzets, double blocking T-Rex, maybe. Something like that. Do I like Palani's Hatcher? A bunch of creatures. Got 11. 14. Let's see what happens. Take out the biggest Niv Mizzet. Buy ourselves a little bit of time, perhaps. Then get Palani's Hatcher down. Just a bunch of creatures to block, hopefully. I would imagine they're gonna probably kill it with something. Molten Collapse is sorcery speed removal, so we don't have to worry about that. Well, we do have to worry about Lightning Helix. Oh boy. Oh boy. Come on, Ghalta, let's go. Maybe kill him. Do I want to play it? Nah, you know what? Let's leave the Regisaur Alpha there. I would imagine it's almost guaranteed to die to the opponent's Molten Collapse, which again is sorcery speed. So if I did my Ghalta thing next turn, they wouldn't be able to use that piece of removal on it. It is. Oh yeah, the last stream was awesome. A lot of good Stompy wins, but 54, okay. If 43 life is hard to beat, if 54 is 2. Yes, indeed. They were still kind of living. Not exactly like this. Nah, not happening. Could have played Regisaur Alpha, maybe. Made something happen, but yeah, it is just unfortunate. I think most of us would safely assume that, or safely expect that, by the time you get closer to halfway through the deck, you would see, one of 4 cards by that point, one of 4 Ghalta Stampede Tyrants. Of course, that just doesn't happen. Sometimes it happens when you need it to get a win, like I did, fortunately, against that Dimir opponent. But we know what this opponent is all about. 5-color pile of stuff. I don't like the Notion Thief. You don't often see that, but this is all about drawing a bunch of extra cards. I don't want to give the opponent that. If I drew 9 cards from Vaultborn Tyrant, well, instead the opponent would draw those 9 cards. That can't happen. A decent amount of enchantments, Leyline Binding and up the Beanstalk. It would be pretty nice to hit with Back to Nature, and that really could, well, somewhat save me. Hornet Queen as well. Maybe. Perhaps. I think we'll trim Soul of the Harvest at the very least. Yeah, I like Back to Nature. Back to Nature and a Frillback. Oh, so many threats. We see Ghalta should be good. We should have, a decent chance to build things up. The opponent doesn't immediately do something super nasty. They build up too, and well, whoever gets there first gets us. Or gets the other opponent. Or they just have some amazing answers. Could work. Almost. I might try it if Cavern of Souls was some other land that was a source of green. Okay, that's better. I think that's better. I got a feeling. Keep the Ghalta, watch me draw another copy of it, and that'll be kicking myself. Okay, phew. Could just be rough. Valky, God of Lies, taking out Ghalta. That's okay. I got 3 more copies in the list, and they see that Back to Nature, unfortunately. Ooh. Carnage Tyrant is not a whole lot of fun. I can tell you that much. Not at the moment. A Sylvan Scrying next turn would be pretty darn fantastic. Getting the Sunken, playing it, and then Archdruid's Charm the turn after that. Getting another Sunken. Pardon me, maybe they don't want to play too many enchantments. Do I want to take out just a Fable? Well, I'll wait for maybe a little bit more value, which is not happening at the moment. I don't know. Might be it if we don't do something quick. Something big. Something painful. Two Fables? Maybe they want to draw out the Back to Nature. That's what I'm doing. Taking out 2 is better than 1. I like it. Oh, and Regisaur. That is majorly unfortunate. That's alright. Pardon me, that's alright though. We'll get him. Perhaps. Okay, yeah, casting some... Yeah, well, we're just dead to Valky, 2 Goblins, and Paradise Druid. That is lethal next turn if we play nothing. Which, to play Damping Sphere, so then we're definitely dead. Yeah, no, that's just how it goes sometimes. Can't always go perfectly. But following up with the Damping Sphere, the extra, yeah, the knife in the back. They already poked a lot of holes into our plan, a little bit of holes, and that was the nail in the coffin. No, I say we do one more. I think this one's going to be fast. Yeah. Oh boy. It is a little bit unfortunate to die to that mixture of creatures that they had. That's alright. Can't win them all, but we wouldn't be winning much with that. It looks kind of similar to another hand I had tonight. Feels like it. There was another one with a bunch of copies of Ghalta. Well, there's the Keeper. We see any other land, we're making 6. If it's a Sunken, we're making 7. And the opponent's chances have sunken. We see a Sylvan, we're making 7. Archdruids, we're making 7. Commune to dig for another land, we'll make 6. Might be 7. There's a lot of chances here. A lot of avenues towards making a bunch. However, we see a Temple Garden. Is it Selesnya, you know what, Hate Bears? I think that could be. Oh boy. Okay, Selesnya Angels is problematic. Commune with Dinosaurs, like I mentioned, for... excuse me. The land. We won't be landing a win, though, game 1, because Angels, they gain a bunch of life. And we're about to see that happen right now. I think it's 2 wins, 3 losses. Something like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But we have a fantastic piece of hate with Torpor Orb that effectively shuts down this entire deck. Everything they were possibly hoping to do. Of course, I would like to win against Angels in game 1, but that almost never happens. I don't usually start out with life gain hate or specific hate that would help. Righteous Valkyrie tends to do the trick. We could draw land that enters on tap next turn, play Vaultborn, draw a bunch of stuff. Well, we won't there. Ghalta is nice, but has to be a commercial district to maybe do something. I'll send a Carnage Tyrant to the bottom. Maybe they don't play another Righteous Valkyrie. It is Arphy. Pardon me, Scorpion. It is Arphy time. Morning time. Yep, Angels doing angel things. They only hit me for 8. I'll gain a bunch of, well, a little bit of life. Next turn, is that going to be, no, that's not going to be enough. Yeah, if only I had a Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, we would have gotten that opponent. But Torpor Orb, like I mentioned, all of that which just happened wouldn't. The stuff would not have gotten bigger. It's really what it's all about. Whenever an angel or a cleric enters, they gain life. Doesn't happen with Torpor Orb. Lovely. Lovely stuff. They basically gain no life. It is usually pretty hard. Soul of the Harvest. Yeah, we'll trim that. Excuse me, trim that. Hornet Queen, lovely stuff to have. Possibly. Now, we won't use Hornet Queen because we're using this thing. Hornet Queen is 7 for a 2/2 flying death touch because Torpor Orb turns off Hornet Queen's enter the battlefield effect. Torpor Orb is probably all we need. Yeah. It's basically all we have to do now. Tranquil Frillback could be good to switch it up. Something that takes out an artifact if I bring in Torpor Orb, which does hurt me, but if I get to a point where I want to get rid of Torpor Orb, I just do that myself and then I pop off on a later turn. And Giant Cindermaw, yes. Giant Cindermaw is pretty darn fantastic. Ooh. This first hand was not so great, this one not so much, and I was searching for a Torpor Orb, but we do have to keep it at some point. Send a Commune to the bottom. Yeah. Sunken Citadel, it's lovely to see both. Eventually we will get to 2 mana. We will search for that Castle Garenbrig and make 6. But I like the Palani's, the Ghalta. We'll maybe get into a scenario where I drop Ghalta, even though Torpor Orb is somewhere in the mixture. I just haven't seen it. So because it isn't in my opening hand, I might be primed and ready to go for a massive stampede. Oh boy, bet it's an angel. Yes, absolutely. It's pretty good seeing the forest. We're going to make 7 next turn. Okay, I like it. We draw some other land. Beautiful. we will eventually reach 8. Maybe I should try some mana dork list. Maybe I should go back to the traditional dinos list that I know many people love. Quite a bit different than this, but hey, here goes nothing. Maybe I can kill him next turn because I kind of do the thing, but maybe they just gain too much life. Collected Company were either dead or they don't hit much, but they did hit enough. Just out of curiosity's sake, we'll see what happens. I could drop their life total down a decent bit, but they would probably still have lethal. Yeah, being at 7 tends to do the trick. $12, $10. $3. No, we're not going to be beating that one. That's for sure. The Righteous Valkyrie alone would have blocked one Palani's Hatcher. Elvish Mystic would have blocked another Palani's Hatcher. Would have traded with it because that Elvish Mystic has 3 power and Palani's Hatcher only has, 3 toughness. Ghalta would have taken him down a wee bit. The tokens. The flying is really what would have gotten us next turn. And all the life they would have gained. Sadly, 28. Painful. Man. It's how she goes. I still had a good time. Always have a good time. If I wasn't having a good time, I would have stopped a long time ago. I didn't get put back to bronze, no. Would have been interesting. It is interesting sometimes when I make a new account, seeing what I face and how quickly it changes after maybe the algorithm realizes, hey, this guy has played a bit before, just a touch. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. I think, if it resets a couple times, or at least twice in a row without you playing, then you do go... you do go back to bronze. That does make sense. If you're in Mythic, you go down to Platinum. If you're in Platinum to... Might take a couple resets. It's hard to say. But, we'll leave it there for tonight. Had a good time, as always. And, we'll see you next time. Have a good morning. Hopefully you got some good rest. Hopefully the weekend is going good. You're staying warm because it is pretty cold, at least where I am. And peace.
Grant me revenge.
And if you do not listen,
Then grant me revenge.
and if you do not listen,
Then to hell with you.